What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Carpool MMA. I'm your host, Ian Parker, here to talk about, break down, and make some picks for UFC London this weekend. The three main fights that really got my attention, obviously Jorge Masvidal versus Darren Till. We're going to see that fight's going to tell us a lot about division, especially whoever wins, who they fight next, and whoever loses, where they end up. We also got Leon Edwards versus Gunnar Nelson. Really intriguing fight. And then, personally, my favorite fight on the card, Dominic Reyes versus Volkan Ozdemir. And just to give you a couple quick picks, I like Phillips on the undercard. All right, he's the underdog. Marshman came in heavy. I like Phillips regardless. And I like Nathaniel Wood. He's a heavy favorite. He's going to absolutely destroy his opponent. Feel free to throw those guys in a parlay somewhere, somehow. and Molly McCann, sorry, like her in that fight also. Anyway, I want to shift to these three main fights. Not going to take a lot of you guys' time. You guys don't like to sit through the longer videos, so we're going to try and chop these up a little bit. Volkan Ozdemir, Dominic Reyes. Really awesome fight. This is going to tell us a lot about the lack of depth in the 205 division. Volkan Ozdemir's last fight against Anthony Smith, he was winning. Gas ran out, got choked out, looking to bounce back. However, this bounce back fight is not a bounce back fight by any means of what people assume it means, where he gets a lesser of opponent. He's getting a younger, less experienced guy, yes, but Dominic Reyes is no fucking joke, man. What he did to OSP was nothing short of spectacular. It was dominant. He was efficient, showed a high level of IQ for the fight game, and I was so impressed. And OSP is not a walk in the park. That fight, I really didn't even know who to pick because we didn't know a lot about Reyes. Obviously, he was still very early in his career, still very green, but he's showing the that he looks more seasoned than he should be at this part of his career. But it's amazing. And what's catch 22 about the UFC's 205 light heavyweight division is that if you're on a streak and you beat a guy like OSP, you're getting fast passed, fast tracked, whatever the term is, towards the top because they want to see if you're the real deal and they don't want a whole lot of repeat rematches. Volkan already had a shot at the title against Daniel Cormier, and that was not good for him. Gustafsson lost to Cormier, lost to Jones twice, so they're not really rushing to get him back. Anthony Smith lost, got dominated by Jones. I know him and Gustafsson are fighting in June, but still, we got time. The UFC likes these guys like Thiago Santos, who should be getting the next title shot. Fresh blood at the top. Awesome. Johnny Walker, who everyone really loves. His knockout over Justin Ledet and then Misha Serkinov. And now we're waiting to see who he gets next. Now you got a guy like Dominic Reyes who's ready for a top 5 fight. This fight I don't think is very good for Volkan Ozdemir. I think that Dominic Reyes is a better athlete. I think his striking is way more efficient, and his cardio is going to be clearly better. If Volkan doesn't knock out Reyes in the first 2 minutes, he's going to get smoked. I think Volkan's a good fighter, and he showed that his knockout power and his boxing was no joke. But the guys that he was beating to get there, like a Jimmy Manuwa, Jimmy Manuwa has not been successful in the UFC, and he's a knockout or get knocked out type of guy. And Volkan just put hands on him. So to make a quick pick out of this, I love Dominic Reyes in this fight. I don't see Volkan beating Dominic anywhere. I don't think he's better than Dominic anywhere. I think Dominic Reyes is a rising star in this division, and I think he is. Obviously, if he beats Volkan in dominating fashion, whether it's just pure dominance for 3 rounds, submission, or a knockout, however you skin that cat, he's getting a title contender fight next, 100%. There's no reason not to. Being that Gustafsson's fighting Anthony Smith, who I think are 2 and 3, Volkan's next. If you beat him, we'll see. Love Dominic Reyes in that fight. I would put a lot of money on that one if you can. I think he's minus like 190, which is, even if he gets to 220, I know you guys don't like to do that. Parlay him then with Nathaniel Wood. Not concerned. All right. Gunnar Nelson, Leon Edwards. Whew. This is like your old school striker grappler match, except Gunnar Nelson has shown flashes of knockout power, and his striking's definitely gotten better. Leon Edwards, though, is just such an elusive striker. He's powerful, he's fast, but I'm not convinced that he should be, he talks about that he's better than Darren Till, and he should be the next British rising star. Maybe. I just don't think that he's been around long enough to really throw that out there. I think Gunnar Nelson's going to be a really good test for him. Gunnar Nelson's not an idiot. He's not a stupid fighter. He's not going to brawl. He will use his striking because Edwards going to be so worried about getting taken down that what's his face? Gunnar Nelson's going to put hands on him a little bit. I think Gunnar Nelson's getting the upset here, guys. I think he's going to submit Edwards. I don't think Edwards is going to knock out Gunnar Nelson, at all. I think Nelson has learned his lesson when that has happened before, and I think that he's going to be a little bit more defensive. I think he is going to pump the jab. He's going to dance a little bit, but he's going to use his range, as best as he can. I know Edwards is taller. I think if and when this fight goes to the ground, I think Nelson's going to get the submission win. So I'm going to go Gunnar Nelson in the upset. I do think Leon Edwards, though, will be a star at some point. I do think he's a very talented fighter. It's hard when you don't see a lot of jiu-jitsu out of some of these guys that are these great strikers that are getting these fast knockout wins because you don't really know. And when you go get a guy like Gunnar Nelson, who's probably one of the more elite, jiu-jitsu guys in MMA, it's like, listen, like these guys, these jiu-jitsu guys, they do enough to get you to their game. Look what Kron Gracie just did, right? Alex Caceres is a very strong striker, karate, whatever, and he's decent at jiu-jitsu, okay? You know Kron is going to take you down to submit you, okay? So what happens? Because you're so worried about the takedown, you can throw whatever you want, not worry about getting hit back. So Kron lit up, Caceres with a couple of nice, really, they looked really good. The combinations got him to the ground, and that was it. I think Gunnar Nelson's going to do the same thing. So I'm going Gunnar Nelson by submission in that fight. And then to the main event of the evening. That was my Bruce Buffer impression. Not bad. Not great, not bad. So Jorge Masvidal, Darren Till. All right. Number one, Darren Till did not beat Wonder Boy in England. That was home court advantage. Watch the fight. Can't convince me otherwise. All right. So I think what Till did to Cowboy was impressive. However, I think Till got rushed up the ladder way too quick. Again, they wanted UFC wanted a guy to supersede, Michael Bisping as the next bridge star. Therefore they could continue to expand over there. And Till, talk the talk. He looks the part, all that good stuff. Him and Mike Perry in that video with the spa. The spar was pretty classic. But I'm still not sold on Darren Till overly. In the Tyron Woodley match, Till had a really big size advantage, and it didn't matter. He got lit up. He got submitted really easily. And Masvidal is not a small guy. He hasn't fought in a little bit, I know, but he's super tough. He's got good hands. He's got good striking. He's very smart. He's got very underestimated jiu-jitsu in a ground game. You know what? I don't care if everyone picks against me right now. I know everyone says, oh, Darren Till in England, his first loss was to Woodley. Yeah, but he got dominated, all right? Masvidal did lose to Wonder Boy decisively. But, guys, it's different. I think Masvidal is going to take this fight to the ground. I think he's gonna use his jab. He's got a great jab. I think he gets Till, on some body punches. I think he puts Till on his back and he works from the guard, steals a couple rounds. I think I'm gonna go with I'm going with Masvidal for the upset here. I really, really want to. I'm not listen, Till could easily dominate this fight, with he could use his jab, he could use his power, his size. But Masvidal is just not a guy that backs up. And if you brawl with Masvidal, not a good idea. The reason why Wonder Boy was so good against Masvidal because he was just efficient. He was clean. His striking was very precise. That works against Masvidal. I don't think Till is that guy. I think Till is the guy that will work his 1-2 and then will add power to it. And he relies on his power. That won't beat Masvidal. You need to throw a lot of combinations. Masvidal has seen it all. Guy, even though he's not that old, he's been around for a while. So I'm going Masvidal with the upset here. I hope you guys enjoy the fights. It's a pretty cool card. Not a lot of big namers, but a lot of guys, that you will hear about in the next, months, year, 1-2 years, whatever it is. And I'm pretty pumped for it. So Phillips, Nathaniel Wood, Reyes, Gunnar Nelson, Jorge Masvidal. Boom. Let's get it. Let's win some money. Enjoy the fights. I'm going to be on Monday. I'll be on the Anik and Florian podcast. Looking forward to that. Catch me on Parker Cage Hero, both Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to subscribe to my YouTube page, awesome. If you want to give me some feedback, questions, I'll answer them all day, every day. All right. Enjoy the fights, guys.